Hey guys, my name is Leon Matthews, and this is my coming out of the closet story. I don't know why I'm talking with my hands, but hey ho, like I don't really care. Um, yeah, I don't think that the quality of this video is going to be that great because I'm videoing off my MacBook. I don't have a camera yet or anything like that. Yeah, the reason I've decided to do a coming out story as my first video is because before I came out as gay, these would be the videos that I would watch to help me. And I know that there is obviously a lot of people that just aren't out as gay and that are struggling with their sexuality. They just don't know what to do. So I thought sharing my story may help them. So yeah, I'll start off like from right when I first realised that I was gay, which was when I was about 10 years old. I had a crush on a guy that I used to play out with a lot. Um, and yeah, like I just had this feeling for him. Like I honestly thought he was everything. Like he when I used to see him, like my heart would beat. Like I don't know what it was about him. Like I don't want to say I was in love with him because I was only 10, but I feel like a 10-year-old's version of love was what I was feeling. I don't know, I was just crazy about him. So yeah, that was the first time that I realised that I like boys. And I actually didn't even think I was gay when I realised that because I didn't really know what gay was. Like I just thought it was normal. I thought, oh, everybody must have feelings for guys. Like I just thought that was the normal. So yeah, so from then I started to have, sorry if I'm looking like in another direction, it's because I'm thinking like I have to think about it because it's all in my memory. Yeah, from then like I started to realize that like on TV there was celebrities that I had crushes on. There was guys in my class like that I generally had crushes on, um, and it was just confusing if I remember. Like it was the fact that nobody else, no other boys, had crushes on these guys. Like I remember like in primary school, like people would be like, oh, like the guys in my class would like fancy like Katy Perry or like Megan Fox, whoever was big at that time, and I'd be like having this big crush on Zac Efron. Like plus the fact that I was generally more camp, so people would make assumptions that I was gay. Like I've always been camp. That's just how I am. Um, a lot of people have like tried to make remarks at me like, oh, do you act like that because you're gay, or do you talk like that because you're gay? Well, no, like I generally, this is just how I am. It's how I have always been. And if you don't like that, well, then you can stick it, like, because I don't really care what people think about me, and I never have done. But yeah, that's just how I am. Not everybody's that confident, but you get your confidence over time, because of what you go through. Like I remember I went through quite a bit of bullying in secondary school and in primary school. It was only really the early years of secondary school, but it was just generally guys just saying things to me like gay boy, gay, like anything gay related that they could say to me to make themselves feel big and clever, which let me tell you, it doesn't make you feel, I mean, it doesn't make you look big or clever. In fact, it makes you look like an absolute idiot. Anybody, if you bully anyone, like you are not a good person. I hate bullies. Bullying is the worst thing that you can do. I just hate it. Yeah, I had my fair share of that, like guys just being absolute idiots to me. Um, but that wasn't until I came out. Once I came out, all of that actually stopped because those guys had nothing to say to me that would bother me. Because what was that? If a guy was to say to me, "Oh, gay boy," and I'm like already out as gay, like, yeah, do you fancy me? Like, why are you telling me something that everybody else knows? Like, I'd sort of use it against them. Like, if anybody ever did try and say gay boy or something to me, like once I'd came out, I'd be like, okay, do you fancy me? Do you want my number? Like, I'd sort of be like that because it's no big deal. Like we live in the 21st century. Like people are gay. Like it's just normal. Like and people that don't think it's normal, like you are generally really close minded because I'm fabulous and I don't really care what anybody else thinks. But yeah. um but yeah, so oh my god, I've lost my train of thought now. Um Yeah, so I started to tell my close friends that I was gay in about year nine, I'd say, when I was in secondary school. Um, and I was, I just generally tell them, like, it was hard for me to admit it. That was the big problem that I had coming out as gay. It wasn't the fact that I was worried people weren't going to like me for it. I was worried that certain boys in the school would like take like some big anger against me for being gay or whatever. But it was more or less because I denied it for so long. I denied it to the bullies. I denied it to everyone that had asked me whether I'm gay or not. It made it harder for me to come out. It was just hard to say it. Like I couldn't say I'm gay because I denied it for that long. I was a bit in denial within myself. But yeah, I started to tell my friends in year nine, and like I never had anyone that was hateful against me when I was telling them. Everybody was really accepting. Um, a lot of people were like, "Yeah, Leon, we know you're gay. Like it's pretty obvious. Like not to stereotype or anything, but I am camp. I mean, not stereotype against gays, but like I am camp. Like so, a lot of people do make the assumption that I am gay anyway, which is completely fine because I've got no issues with my sexuality. Um, and everybody was pretty fine. In fact, there was this one girl, like, but she wasn't being mean, like, and if she's watching this, it'll be funny, like, if she realizes that it's her that I'm talking about, because I'm not going to say her name, I don't want to embarrass anyone. Um, I actually told her that I was gay, and her response was, you know, Leon, just because people tell you that you're gay doesn't mean that you have to be gay. And I was just sort of like, oh, okay. I was just like, I'm trying to come out to you and you're trying to push me back in the closet. Like, well, I'm sure that wasn't what she was meaning to do, but that's what it felt like. Yeah. And I was just sort of like, yeah, I know people say that, but I am actually gay. Like, I've just been denying it. Like, yeah, like, but I never really got any hate. And once I'd started to tell my close friends that I was gay, like, it was easier for me to tell other people in the school. Like, I started to tell guys. And to be honest, telling guys, I did make wise choices of who I told, personally, like coming from me. And I remember telling two guys in my class that people wouldn't think that they'd be okay with gay people, but because I'd known them, I'd been in the classes for so long, they were like really supportive of me, and that made me feel better to know that like these guys, like, because they were pretty much the first. That was basically what I was scared of. I was scared of what other boys would think, because it's usually boys that bully other boys for being gay. It's never really girls. It normally is boys. So to know that they were accepting these two guys that were like kind of popular or whatever, that made it easier for me to know that, you know, not everybody's gonna hate me. Like that is just what people tell you, that is just in movies. Like movies have sort of brought it down, but now it's being gay is completely fine. You see it on TV and everything, like it's totally normal, and to be honest, it is normal. There is not there is nothing wrong with fancying someone or being in love with somebody of the same gender. And anybody that tells you that that is wrong, they are closed minded and they're probably insecure about their own sexuality. A lot of people that hate on gay people are curious about their own sexuality, or they're very insecure with their own masculinity. The fact that they can't handle if another guy is feminine or camp. I mean, they could be straight, but they could just be generally camp. Um, but yeah, once I told all my friends at school, it started to circulate round. So that sort of got everybody in the school knew that I was gay, um, which I was completely fine with because I was coming out anyway. Um, and then even though I was out to my friends, it was still pretty hard to tell my family, because I was still quite in denial to them. Uh, and I come from like a family of Catholics. Like a lot of people in my family are Christian Catholic. Uh, so not that made me any more scared, because I knew that my family would be accepting. But it was more or less that my mum had defended me to these bullies that would bully me in primary school for being gay, and she'd stand up for me all the way, and I'd denied it all the way. The fact it was more or less that I was worried that she was going to be mad at me because she's had to defend me, and all this time that I've been gay. Like I don't know why I thought that, but that was what I was thinking. That's why I was like more or less scared to tell my own mum. Um, Yeah, and but the first person I told in my family was my sister, and that is because I came home one day to my sister's house because I used to babysit when I lived back at home, um, and I think there was just a lot of pressure mounting up on me, like just knowing that I was gay, and knowing that my friends know, and now I have to tell my family. I think that's what that pressure was. So I was crying, and she was asking me, she was like, "Leon, what's up?" And I was like, I don't want to tell you, like, nothing's up, nothing's up. But clearly there was something up. I was crying. And she said to me, "Listen, if you don't tell me what's up, I'm going to tell mum, like, and mum will find what's up with you." And I was just thinking, oh, like, I really don't want to talk to my mum about this right now. So I told her, but even then I couldn't openly tell her I was gay. I was more or less, I said to her, the names that people call me at school, like, it's true. And she was like, "What, gay?" And I was like, "Yeah." Um, and she basically said to me, "Leon, I'm your sister. I couldn't care whether you were striped, spotted, orange, yellow, whatever." She said, "You're still my little brother and I will always love you. Um, and it really doesn't matter what sexuality you are, like, it doesn't make a difference." So that did make me feel better. Like, that was the first member of the family, like, out the way. And then I knew that I'd have to tell my mum next. So I asked my sister not to tell my mum and that I'd tell her in my own time. And then I think about a week later, uh, I told my mum by text. And the reason I did that was because I was scared to openly admit that I was gay to the person that has defended me the most against all the bullies. I knew that she was going to be okay with it. And to be honest, I knew in my heart that she would be fine, whether she's defended me against bullies or not, because she loves me. But it was still hard for me to say. So I told my mum by text a big long paragraph of how I was, like, gay, basically of how I was gay. Um, and again, she was completely fine with it. Like, she was just telling me how much she loved me, and she actually called me because I wasn't at the same place that she was at. So she called me and she's like, "Listen, Leon, like, I don't care. You're my son. Like, I've always knew, like, pretty much all that stuff. Like, and just saying that she loved me and stuff." Um, and then it was my mum. I asked my mum if she could start telling the rest of the family, and all of my family are completely accepting about me. I am very lucky to have the situation that I have, I guess, because not everybody has accepting families. Um, some people just aren't that lucky, and I've got a really accepting family, and I've got a lot of friends that support me. But yeah, so that is generally my coming out story. And since then, I've had a boyfriend. I've talked to guys. Like, all of these things, whether it works out or not, it helps you inside. I'm a lot more confident now than I was 4 years ago. Even when I first came out, I'm a lot more confident now. I can walk down the street and not give a shit what anyone thinks about me because I'm happy within myself. And I don't care whether people don't like me for being gay. You build this confidence up once you can openly admit within yourself that you are gay. Once you can come out and you can tell people that you're gay, you just become more confident. And people just act differently. Like, I'm a little bit sassy, I guess. Like, but that's just me. But yeah, and I just don't care what people think about me. That's the main factor. Um, but yeah, like, if you're struggling, like, with coming out, um, as gay, or like you need somebody to talk to, it is okay. You should tell people. You should never feel like you have to hide it. It's completely normal. But it does get better once you start telling people, especially if you're going through bullying. 99% of the time, those bullies are only they're only being mean to you because they know it gets to you. But once you come out, it doesn't get to you anymore. So the bullying normally stops. And if it doesn't, there is people that you can talk to. There is probably teachers, or if you're not in school anymore, you've got friends that you can talk to. Yeah, literally the whole gay thing, the grass is greener on the other side. We're in the 21st century, like, people just don't care anymore. Like, it's completely normal. But yeah, so that was my coming out story. Oh, my camera's flashing. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, so So yeah, so that was my story. Like that was all that I had.